I'm here with Gino.
Hey, danger, coming with them bangers. Tell me where my paper. Still on the same mission, trying to live major. Don't hate me, hate the game. I'm a player. Feeling like Pac. Represent on my block. Try to knock me down, but I come up on top. Yeah, they wanna see me flop. Got a plot, want a lot. I won't stop on my pops. Got so many flows, it's insane. They don't really understand the game. Got a plan and it's plain, I ain't playing. I'm just trying to gain. I wanna get that big bag, need that big Rex. Blow up Tic Tac with a blue cheese at. I don't give a fuck about your feedback. Eat that, get back, sit back, watch me spit that kickback. Got so many flows, yeah, they think that I'm insane. Ghetto kids in a lot of pain, all about the bills, ain't shit changed. Danger, coming with them bangers. Tell me where my paper. Still on the same mission, trying to live major. Don't hate me, hate the game, I'm a player. If you a hater, I don't hate you. I'm just really happy that I ain't you. I just wanna thank you. You kept me motivated, so now I'll motivate you. There's a lot of cake, money on my mind like a banker. Coming through with them bangers, ain't no room for mistakes. Lot of stake, hustle till we get a lot of rooms, lot of stakes. Good kid, but I keep it gangsta. All gas, no brakes. Got cash for the case. More cash in the case. More cash in the safe. More cash on the way. Hustling all day. Ay. Danger, coming with them bangers. Tell me where my paper. Still on the same mission, trying to live major. Don't hate me, hate the game. I'm a player.
Danger, coming with the bang. For my fucking baby.
Said I'm taking big shots, just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. They been trying to get me cheap like a thrift shop, but I told them it's my time, check the wristwatch. They been talking way before they even doing something. Whoa. If they wanna play, let's get a tip off. Ain't no silver lining, dawg, this some rose gold. Getting new money, I'm a old soul. Yeah, I get it bouncing like a pogo. Whoa. And I'm too cold like Frozone. And my chick elastic, girl. Told them we ain't in the faking, this ain't plastic, girl. Bought a new whip and cash, now my taxi thorough. Way I'm shooting like step with my passes, bro. The way I'm playing the field, I'm in a league of my own. And now they all in their fields, I got them all on my phone. But dog, I'm hitting the climb, I got no time on the low. Way I'm shooting is messy, the way I'm hitting the goals. I'm taking big shots, just stop. Way I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. I just left, but you know I'm coming back though. Whoa. And you know I don't play by my rags though. Now go and turn it up to the max, whoa. Send a paper to me now like a fax, whoa. Yeah. Got 2 phones ringing off the hook now. When I'm in the city, I get looks now. I was going bad, but I'm good now. Said I had to go and put my foot down. Told them I'ma get it and go. Even in the summer, man, they knowing I'm cold. I got a couple checks coming that I made out the flows. Might get a couple more popping if I do it some more. I gotta do it for real. Said I'm back in my bag. All my digits are climbing just like they all on a dash. And he told me slow down cause dog I'm moving too fast. Might go and caught me a Tesla cause dog I still got a gas. Said I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like the 6 spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream. And guys, we got fiber installed today. No more internet issues. Actually, I have two internet providers technically right now. So if one goes down, we'll just switch to the other one. But what is going on, Mafia? We're back here with another banger. Looking at the live Bitcoin price action. Are we going to get another dump to the downside, or are we going to come up and take yesterday's high into our major point of control of our current kind of medium time frame wonky range? I'm going to cover the price action live for you guys, give you my thoughts on where I think price is going, and then hopefully we can get a move here. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Pretty choppy day. But yeah, we're going to talk about some of the key levels I'm looking at, where we're going to be looking for the bounces, where we're looking for the rejections. Is there a place to look for a trade right now? We're going to go over all of it. I'll give you guys the bearish case, the bullish case. I'll let you know which way I'm leaning. And, of course, we'll have a whole lot of fun in the process. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for being here, guys. We got Rudy in the chat, the MVP of yesterday's stream. Shout out to anybody who tuned in yesterday. Rudy was in a trade, and we encouraged him. We set up the levels. We brought up the volume profile, and we smashed those targets for him. So shout out to Rudy. Welcome in. He said, love you, bro. Glad you're alive. Yeah, shout out to Rudy. Wait, hang on a second. Rudy, was that you, or was that a different Rudy? I feel like the Rudy yesterday had two I's in his name. Let me know, bro. I think it was you. But anyway, yeah, I am feeling better, guys. I'm about 100%. I got a little bit of rasp left in the throat, but feeling a lot better. If you guys didn't know, I was struggling with like 104, 105 degree fever. But yeah, we're back. We're back, baby. We're live, and we got the fiber fixed. We're feeling healthy. We got faster internet, way faster internet. And guys, the guy came to dig out the line and everything. And he came into the studio, and you can't make this up, guys. He walked into the studio, and I just got deflated Mrs. Candles here. Hang on, she's got no clothes on, so I'll flip her backwards. Just deflated blow-up doll on the floor, money all over the place. This guy walked in, and the look on his face was priceless. He's like, dude, what do you do? I was like, I'm just, I'm a YouTuber. It's all fun and games, man. Don't worry about it. But anyway, grab $100 bill on the way out and just ignore. Don't say anything about Mrs. Candles on the floor. That's my girlfriend. Don't talk trash. But it was hilarious, man. Like, I always forget, like, people sometimes have to come in here, and this guy was like, dude, what is going on? But anyway. We got a lot to look at here on the charts, guys. Who's the artist from your intro? I think the last one that plays during the intro, I think, is called J. I think his name is J like the alphabet. Like, that's the full name, J like the alphabet. I think that is what it is. But let's see. Yeah, Rudy had 2 eyes. It's a fake out. Shout out to Big Huggies. Yeah, there can only be me. Shout out to Rudy. Was that a different Rudy? Well, shout out to Rudy. Insane. But yeah, that was super fun yesterday. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the chart. So without further ado, shout out to Ramza. Shout out to Alexander G. Shout out to Big Huggies. Shout out to H. Rob, Daniel Spooner. And last but not least, shout out to Philly Skills. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So here we are. And I'm going to start here on, kind of a higher time frame here. This is obviously kind of the major range we've been looking at. Of course, excuse me, start coughing as soon as I say I feel better. But yeah, of course, still holding my short here from pretty much the tippy top. Got profits locked in there at this point. I don't think I have it open here. Bada boom, there it is. So obviously less profit because I locked some in. Stop loss to break even. So guaranteed winning trade here. However, when we look at this move down, right? We took the short. We got back inside the volume profile. We look for the rotation to the POC. We got under the POC. We look for that move down to the value area low. And we kind of have an interesting situation here, guys, because obviously we did get a pretty nice bounce here yesterday. Shout out to Rudy. Excuse me. Shout out to Rudy, but we did get a nice bounce off of a daily and a weekly level here. Not this daily, it was an older daily, but we did have a weekly level down here. I believe we also had I think we had a daily MPOC down here as well. Yeah, so we had the daily MPOC, the weekly, and another daily horizontal down there as well, I believe. So we did get nice bullish divergences down there. We got the lower lows on our price action into the key level, higher lows on our momentum waves. And we did end up getting a nice little bounce back to the upside there. And the only thing that's a little bit weird about this, guys, is that we did front run the value area low, which does make me a little bit suspicious of potentially, like when we look at this from a volume profile perspective, right, more often than not, I am typically expecting to come down to that low. So I am still holding a portion of that short position. And yeah, just based off the volume profile, it's like you do expect these value area lows to have a magnetic nature to them, right? So overall, I do oftentimes expect this, but I do want to talk about the possibility of maybe just coming up from here as well, because there are some signs on the chart that we could see that happen. And I'm going to go over those with you. We'll go over the local time frames as well. But yeah, key level down here, value area low, still sitting at about $86,673. We also have a daily naked point of control. Let me go ahead and take this off because that's now tapped. We have a daily MPOC sitting at about 85,870. And then, of course, we also have a golden pocket sitting in there as well. So we can actually extend this down just a little bit. So this is going to be kind of the next major zone I will be looking at if we do get another drop to the downside. Even have another daily down there at about $85,471. 84,426 actually. So yeah, I mean, just simple volume profile stuff, right? Deviate above the high, get back into the range, looking for the rotation into the POC, lose the POC. If we are going to get that full rotation back down to the low, this is kind of that next major level of support. I will be treating that as a volume profile. I am going to be interested in bounces at this level. Of course, excuse me, I haven't coughed once all day. But, of course, we are going to have to see those bullish confirmations come in. And if we do, we have all that support down there where we could be looking for those bounces, potential long positions in the premium Discord to get that rotation back up to the high. And when we look at this, right, taking a look at something like the 4-hour or even like the 6-hour, I will say, some of these medium time frames, just to give you guys a little bit of preparation, if we did, in case we did get that drop to the downside, right, it does look like potentially we could form some nice bullish divergences here on those medium hourly time frames, like the 6-hour. 8 hours not looking as good. 5-hour red dot is printing. We would probably have to come down in the next 34 minutes for this to kind of play out. But I will be looking, if we do get down there, we could be looking for some of those medium time frame bullish divergences to indicate that maybe we can get a bounce there. Just kind of, when I see these momentum waves, guys, it just, does look like, if you do get that new low, right, you get that higher low, well, that's going to be the bullish divergence. That's kind of how you can try to front run those bullish confirmations while you're waiting for that key level. But like I said, right, like there's a few different reasons to be looking for that, right? Number one, you got the value area low there. It's the magnetic rotation of that volume profile. And if you don't know about the magnetic volume profile rotations, guys, man, go watch yesterday's live stream. Literally pulled up this local volume profile like while we were live. Shout out to Rudy. I guess Rudy with two eyes. Yeah, I guess it's a different Rudy. Kind of wild. I hope he comes back. But we were looking at this local volume profile. Just let me just get my bearings here. Looking at the right here, right? Looking at this local volume profile. Actually, it was pulled from back here. Looking at this local volume profile, where we had the value area low sitting right here, and he said he was in a long position. He didn't know if it was going to hit TPs, so we pulled this volume profile. We said, well, hey, bro, if you're able to flip above this anchored VWAP / value area low, we also had the Golden Pocket 786 up here. Beautiful, like, live price action narration saying, hey, beautiful take profit 1 at the POC, beautiful take profit number 2 at the 786 right here, and then, like, literally minutes later, boop, right into the POC, and then we ran it into the value area high 786 for him. Absolutely beautiful. And then even during that live stream, right, we were talking about, well, hey, back above the high, if we can get accepted back into this volume profile, this would be the move down to the POC, lose the POC, back down to the low. So just a little bit of a, we're kind of still, this is, I'm going to pull up this new range that I'm looking at in a second. But, those are those magnetic volume profile rotations, guys, like very, very simple, right? Get back into the range, very high probability of seeing that fill in full. So that's kind of the same idea, same thing here, deviate above the high, get back in, POC, value area low, right? So it's the same thing when we look at the larger range, right? So why do I say, why would I not be shocked if you're able to get back down to that value area low? Well, hey, it would just give you that full volume profile rotation. But like I said, there are some mixed signals here that could indicate a push up. So I want to go over those with you as well. But yeah, so just watch this level down here. Let me pull it from the actual low. 86,619. I would say all the way down to the daily MPOC at 85.8, and then you have this daily backup here at 85.383. And don't forget, guys, we also do have a pretty significant amount of liquidity sitting below this wick at about 86.3. So it kind of would make sense, in my opinion, if we did get down there to maybe flush down some of that liquidity, and then if we can reclaim. Same thing, right? Volume profile rotation, back up to the POC, back up to the value area high. And obviously, we'll have to see the confirmations, right? You need the confluence as well, right? Like, you're not going to be looking for that if you're breaking down with no confirmation and money flow coming out. But it is what it is, right? So those are still the major levels. POC sits at about $91,240. Value area high still sitting up here at about $93,557. And I would say, as of right now, guys, like, the major levels remain the same. The POC at about, 91,240. This is still going to remain the biggest level, right? Because if we're going to continue to rotate into this value area low, I would say, like, if we do come up and take out yesterday's high, it could bring us directly into our next confluent level, which sits right here on the Golden Pocket / POC. Bada boom. Right, so if you are going to be looking for another lower high and a lower low, right, you have the Golden Pocket POC, you got some nice confluence there. Of course, this does run up to the 786 at about $92,000, but at that point, guys, you're above the point of control. If you flip this POC, I'm going to be expecting a rotation back up to the high. So I really am focused here on the POC Golden Pocket. So if we did get up there, right, I'm not personally interested in short setups here, just because I'm still holding my short from much higher. But definitely an area where you could look for rejections before getting that next lower high to come in and eventually fill that volume profile in full. And another thing that's kind of in line with that is, we still have our 4-hour money flow coming into the red here. That does indicate the overall trend can continue down. So just a little bit of a couple reasons why, the rotation down there may not be impossible, and why, if we are going to get it and we get the rotation up first, kind of what I would look for. Because again, money flow comes into the red, right? You're looking for, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. But if we come up a little higher, this would be, in my opinion, the first level to look at for that next lower high to come on down into that key zone, right? If we get above the POC, sure, you have the 786 up there. I can't say you can't reject it. The reason I don't love this level as much as the Golden Pocket is, number one, there's no confluence up there. Number two, you're above that point of control, because, if you reject that 786, you could just end up flipping that POC, and then, I'll personally be expecting that rotation back up to the high. So where's the next key level above this, right? And where would we potentially be not expecting this value area low to get hit? Well, the invalidation for this, in my opinion, right, is always going to be a breakout of the value area. And when we pull our full Fibonacci retracement from the absolute high to the low, excuse me, we do have some confluence here on the golden pocket value area high. Once we start kind of breaking out of this, there's two zones here. Golden pocket value area high sitting between 93,549 and 94,159. And then we have a second zone up here where we have the 786 daily MPOC and a weekly MPOC as well, right? So like these are kind of the biggest levels on the chart right now, in my opinion. The highest that I would like to go before not looking for lower highs anymore is pretty much the golden pocket. Again, can the lower high come in at the 786? Yes, but again, at that point, depending on what money flow looks like, you definitely could put the lower high in there. I think, this is the line in the sand. If we break that same levels yesterday, right? We break that 786 at $95,596. You're already close to the high, but that does invalidate the technical lower high, and then I will be looking for a really new high to come in. So those are the big key levels. Number one, or I should start lower, right? Number one, if we get the move up, is going to be 90,908 to 91,302 at the POC. Once we get above that, next key level, 93,549 to 94,159. And then above that, last line of defense, a lot of confluence up there, 95,29 to 95,596, right? Hopefully all those numbers don't confuse everybody. But there you go, right? Because we're looking for lower highs and lower lows. 4-hour money flow is continuing into the red. The anticipation has to be lower high, lower low. That's the first place to look. If not, it could come in here, right? If it's not going to come in this zone, it's probably going to come in that zone. And if not, and there will probably be signs here, like if we start pushing up here, like I'll probably know if I'm going to be looking for a short here or not. But for the most part, those are where I'll be looking for the lower highs. Once you start breaking out of this golden pocket value area high, in my opinion, I'm probably looking for new highs. So there you go. Let me come into the chat here real quick, and then we'll go into some of the local levels here. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, look at this, baby. Look at this. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. I'm going to pull up that local range that I was just talking about. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Paisa. Said, front running means you did not quite make it to the level. Yes. Shout out to Crypto Paisa. Yeah, I'm sure someone probably asked that question. Front run is just like, sometimes you'll have a key level. But it's not that you front ran this and didn't bounce off anything, right? You did actually have a significant amount of confluence down here. This was still a key level. You just front ran the value area low, right? Which is, in my opinion, right, or based off my analysis, this is just usually a very magnetic level. So, I would say 8 out of 10 times you're going to see that tapped. But it's very rare that you're just going to bounce off nothing and front run that level, right? But of course, as we looked at before, right, you had a weekly there. You had a daily, you had the daily MPOC, you had the weekly. So you did have some pretty significant levels. And I think the yearly open, I think, was right around there as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go ahead and pull that real quick. Come on. Let me just mark this off real quick. It's kind of a sloppy mark. Yeah. So you had a bunch of confluence down there. So it's not like you're bouncing off of nothing. And you had the bull divs. But, yeah. And then I'm going to jump in here locally. Shout out to CoinSpirator. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. You said with the 1/16th and a money flow crossover, what if the momentum wave is high at the same time? Do you wait? Yeah. So shout out to CoinSpirator with the momentum waves. Yeah, you do have to have a decent understanding of like how to trade market cipher B. Excuse me. So let me try to see here. Like, I don't know if you're talking about the momentum wave on the lower time frame or the higher time frame. But yeah, it's if I'm about to get like if I'm looking for this 1 hour money flow crossover into the green, right? And I'm looking at that as my indication for the 1/16th. Like, if I see the VWAP crossing over, printing a red dot, I'm going to anticipate a little bit of a more of an ever flow to the downside first before seeing that finally take off. But the money flow crossover is going to indicate really the continuation of the trend, right? Not the instant move to the upside. So, like, for example, you could see here we had the 1 hour money flow crossover into the red. This is literally what we were looking at to anticipate making us hold our short from the high for a continuation of the trend to the downside. But you can see the money flow crossover happens here. But like right as you're getting that money flow crossover, what happens, right? You get a green dot on the 1 hour. So yes, the money flow crosses over into the red here, but once you get that green dot, you do get another little push to the upside. So you do have to keep in mind that the money flow is just going to indicate the overall trend, not necessarily like the instant pops or, the instant pops up or down. So I don't use this to enter my trades, right? I use this, up here, I use the bearish divergences, and I believe the SFP to take the trade here. But I use that 1 hour money flow crossover with the 16-hour red dot printing at the same time as an indication that, hey, right, like I see the bearish divergences, I see the SFP up here. That's what makes me take the trade. And then if I'm looking at this to potentially continue down to rotate the profile, which we barely front ran, if I'm looking at this as like, is this going to continue down? Well, hey, I have the money flow crossover into the red. I have the 16-hour red dot. My entry's all the way up here. I'm okay with little pops to the upside because what I'm going to be expecting is lower highs and lower lows to come. Even if we got a bigger retracement here, you could have still put in lower highs and lower lows. So I'm not using it as an entry. I'm just using it as kind of a bias to understand where that trend's likely to continue. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out, CoinSpirator. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Shout out to PV, said, for sure that double click on the time bar automatically adjust the time frame. Shout out to PV like this. Yes. Sometimes I do that and people are like, how did you do that? I mean, I think a lot of people just like click here. But yeah, you can just double click the time frame. Or the price scale. Or you could also click down here if you're like super scrunched up. You're just like bada boom. Can we take a look at TRX? Yeah, sure. We can try to take a look at TRX in a minute. Shout out to Nope, said, I'm thankful for Big Bank Frank's channel. There's no political banter, no left or right bias, no complaints, and whether we want to hear it or not, we get facts and truth. Thank you, bro. Yeah, shout out to Nope. That is like, you're only going to get like information-based analysis here. You're not going to get any kind of garbage, hopium or at least senseless hopium. You're just going to get, what the charts say, right? I always tell people I have a boss. The boss is my chart, is the chart, right? That's my boss. I can't, if the chart looks bearish, I can't necessarily come up here and be like, it's going to moon, unless I had another reason, based off information to say that. But it's never going to be based off of some rumor or anything like that. XRP going to $10,000 because I don't know. Whatever people say XRP is going to 10K for. Show me the chart, right? But real quick, let's go over the local price action here. Let me go ahead and actually, I'll just pull it up here because I have it already pulled. So here is the local volume profile. So this is the same profile we looked at with Rudy yesterday for that big, quick volume profile rotation. We hit into the high, right? Obviously, the value area levels have moved because I've extended this all the way to the current price action. And we came into the high, right? We're back in, POC, back down to the low. We are now bouncing off of the low. We also had golden pocket confluence here. Unfortunately, guys, I missed this setup down here because I was trying to explain to the internet guy why there was a blow-up doll on my floor. I was like, listen, bro, listen. But anyway, you came down to the value area low. It's like picture perfect, guys. It's insane. Like, when I talk about these volume profiles, I don't, like, bring it up for no reason. I bring it up because it works, right? We helped Rudy find that long position, back to the high. We talked about getting accepted back in here, going to the POC, and potentially back down the low. There's your support. You get a hold of support on the golden pocket. And this was also beautiful because it was a golden pocket confluence right on that value area low. You get the push back into the POC. And at this point, well, we were looking for this in the premium Discord, although I wasn't holding a position. As we held above this, talking about how, hey, well, look at this, guys. If we stay inside here, we can look to come to the POC. If we flip the POC, we may be able to head up to the high here. So maybe we could see this happen on the live stream. We'll just have the volume profiles play out once again in real time. And if I could just... we were talking about this, too, in the premium. If I could break this down for you. Whoops. move that POC by accident. But you could just kind of see, right? Like we got a little fake out here below the POC. Perfect support here on the anchored VWAP, high or low, back above the POC. At this point, right, could be a nice move into that value area high. So we'll see if we can get this to play out. But another thing we looked at here was the 3-minute money flow. Shout out to the Market Cipher B116 strategies, as we were just talking about. There's your 3-minute money flow crossover, right? Making you anticipate the overall continuation of the uptrend, right? Not the ups and downs. Again, right? This doesn't mean you're instantly going to go up, right? But it does mean that when you pull back, you're going to be looking for higher lows and higher highs. And there is the continuation of the trend. And we even have a little bit of a local, I was saying volume profile inception in the premium Discord here. And there is, this is what we were looking for. Even within this range, right, we could hold on top of this value area low of this like kind of hyper local range. Hold on top of this. POC could be next. I'm going to set an alert here to see if we can get it tapped. And then once we flip that POC, we can look to come up to that value area high. I'm going to set an alert here in case we get that tapped as well. So we'll see if we can hold on top of this, right? You come up, value area low is resistance until proven otherwise. So no shocker that you get a pullback here, but that money flow is coming up. You're looking for higher lows. Come back up. If we could flip this value area low into support, we can look to push into that point of control. So we'll see if we can do it. We'll see if we can do it here. All right, let's see. Rudy W. Rudy. Shout out to Stay Woke, bro. That was so lit yesterday, man. And he was saying that he's he was saying that he's like, I'm scared now because, like, what if it doesn't play out? Everyone's going to know I lose. And I told him, I said, I got your back, bro. It's not a bad trade. And then we brought up the volume profile. I was like, bro, you're in a pretty good situation right now. Let's hit these targets. And they all got smashed for him. So I was super happy about that. Shout out to XYZ says, this is gonna be the longest 10x ever. You're talking about 10x on Bitcoin? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Let me know. Oh, there is Rudy in the chat. Let's go. He said, I'm a bit late today. Was at the gym. Let's go. Shout out to Rudy. Come on, baby. Come on. Welcome in, bro. Congratulations, bro. I was hoping you were going to show up, bro. You were yesterday's stream's MVP, man. It was fun. Yeah, that was super fun just watching it live. It all happened like, and you know, it is also funny, right? Because when we looked at it, it's like we see the value area low. And we're like, hey, man, you can flip this level. Bing, bong, bro. And then, sure enough, right, after we talk about that, news comes in. Bing, bong. Show me the charts. I'll tell you the news. I don't know why it works, guys. Like, I'm not saying the news doesn't matter. I'm not saying the news doesn't move the price. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't really say that. But one thing I can say for sure is, like, every single time, show me the charts, I will tell you the news. I don't know what the news is going to be, but more often than not, I would say like dang near 9 out of 10 times, the TA will be on the side of whatever that news is going to be. And there's been so many like super, like clear examples of that yesterday, and it was live, right? It's not like we looked in hindsight. We literally talked about it here, and then bullish news, boom, and it magically hit both our targets and then rejected our targets and re-rotated the volume profile. It's just crazy. And this is like one of the reasons I love TA so much. It's just like, I don't know, it's so interesting. I'm going to go ahead and let me just reload this tab real quick because it's giving me a little trouble here. Come on. I don't know why this is tripping out so much. But another really good example of that was the October 10th liquidation wick, right? Like we had the technical setup here. Technical setup above the value area high. I mean, it's all going to be value areas. Why? Because they work, right? Deviation above the high. We had our bearish confirmations. We took the short. We looked to get into the value area high, go to the POC, lose the POC, go down to the low. All of a sudden, right, we were holding this trade from all the way back here. All of a sudden, bearish news slams us right through. Sure, we got the liquidation wick to come down here, but look where price settles, right on that value area low. I don't know. I didn't know there was going to be news here. I just knew the charts were calling for this level. News just magically comes in. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you guys, but luckily we know how to take advantage of it. Shout out to Andrew. Thank you for the super chat, bro. So I thought he said, do you think Pokemon looks good to 3,100-ish? I can try to take a look at platinum in a minute. It worked like a charm. Shout out to Rudy. That's not uncommon for volume profiles. Definitely not uncommon for volume profiles. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see if we can get it to play out again here. Let me just dig into this local price action here real quick. Bear with me. There we go. All right, let me get rid of this tab because that one's trash. All right, this is much better. All right, so let me see here. Let me turn off the... All right, so this is the volume profile. And, of course, it's not going to play out every time, right? You, of course, need a lot of confluence. But this is just the theory here, right? And, again, using money flow to identify trend, right? You have the 3-minute money flow coming up. Value area low is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. But as you come down, right, you expect the resistance here. You look for the pullback, but you're hoping for higher lows for a higher high to come because money flows in the green. You look for the trend, overall trend, to continue. Doesn't mean you can't dump. Just means you're looking for the continuation of the trend on that dump, right? And then the hope is that you could get the rotation back into the profile and push into that POC, which you've almost already hit here. You're not always going to get the beautiful retest of the value area low. A lot of times you will, and it's very pretty when it happens. But we'll see if we can get it there. But we'll see, right? The idea would be if you can hold inside here, push into the POC, maybe a little resistance, flip the POC, go to the value area high. And on the flip side, maybe it just nukes to the downside. But it's okay, right? If you lose it slightly, it's all right, right? You can kind of play around with these levels a little bit. But we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this. And then looking at the money flow here, not only on the 3-minute, but now looking at the 5-minute. And why was it the 3-minute money flow I was watching? Well, it was because we had a 45-minute green dot incoming, right? So when we see that 45-minute green dot printing here, right, we are looking to print, right? We were looking at it right as it was about to print, as price was sitting down here, and we say to ourselves, right, let me just bring it up in the Discord just so you can see like exactly how I walk through it, right? So here it is. Here are some local levels I'm watching, Mafia, whatever. I'm gonna save all the garbage there. But at the value area low, if we're going to see this rotate back up, I'll be looking at the 45-minute green dot and the 3-minute money flow crossover. So there you are at that value area low. Whoops. Come on. Come on. Here we are at the value area low. 45-minute green dot looking to print. I'll come up on a little bit of a lower time frame. Like we were like right here, like kind of bouncing around. 45-minute green dot was about to print, right? And we had the 3-minute money flow attempting to come up, right? It was attempting to come up. So if we could see that crossover with that 45-minute green dot, the trend continuation expectation is higher, right? We also now have 5-minute money flow crossing into the green with an 80-minute green dot printing, same setup, different time frames. And we have a 7-minute, or money flow kind of chopping around on the 7-minute now, so getting a little sketchy there. But money flow attempted to come up on the 7-minute with a potential 2-hour green dot looking to print. That VWAP is getting very close to the 0 line. I don't love this 2-hour money flow, if I'm being honest, but we'll see what happens. So there you go. And then, just to kind of walk you through that, right? There it is. We start to get the push up. 3-minute money flow starts to cross into the green. We start to move to the POC. We start to flip the POC. And we start to push up, right? Is that it? And then now the expectation is obviously see if we can get the full rotation. But it all starts at the value area low, right? Yo, shout out to BTC Bill. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Dropping the Frankie Candles memberships. Come on, baby. Come on. Shout out to BTC Bill dropping the 10 Frankie Candles memberships. Drop some golden emojis in the chat if you just got a membership. Shout out to BTC Bill, one of the most generous guys out there. Bill is back and super generous. Those are not cheap memberships, guys. So if you got one, drop a thank you in the chat. Let's see. Shout out to Stardog said, you're just looking for patterns, bro. News happens all the time when price doesn't move. I don't know what that means. Definitely not looking at patterns. I'm literally looking at the volume, which is literally what drives price. We're not trading patterns over here, my friend. Let's see. Bill is a badass. Absolutely. Bitcoin's in the chat for Bill. That's the new Bill emoji. Drop some Bitcoins, orange Bitcoins in the chat if you got a membership to thank Bill. Is this the beginning or the end of cryptocurrency? Shout out to Khan. I don't think it's really the beginning or the end. It's probably closer to the beginning than the end. But David B in the chat as well. Shout out to David B. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. It's the beginning of the end for cryptocurrency. Maybe. I don't know if you can ban crypto. But we're going to need a BTC Bill emoji soon. Yeah, shout out to Ace. Probably. Where's my... There it is. Back inside the volume profile. Can she make it up to the POC? Come on, baby. Come on. Send it. Yeah, shout out to Quiet, I think is what that says. Says there was a bullish divergence on the 15-minute some hours ago into the golden pocket. Would that have been a good long setup? I don't see a 15-minute bull div anywhere, at least on Market Cipher B. He may have had like maybe an RSI bull div. That might be what you're looking. Nah, I don't really see a... you don't really see a bullish divergence on the RSI either. I don't know exactly what you're looking at, but if this is the golden pocket you were talking about, if you had a bullish divergence at some point, that is like one of the simple confirmations that I like to see. A nice little bullish divergence at the low, right, into the value area low, indicates that you could get a nice rotation back up to the high. But it does look like we may be able to get a push back up there to the 90,300s. Based off the volume profiles, right? Not patterns. I feel like people think I hate on patterns, which I don't, right? Like, at the end of the day, all forms of TA can be useful, right? If you like to use patterns and they make money for you, well, I would never try to talk you out of using them. I don't personally like trading patterns, at least alone. I pay attention to patterns, like, as a way to, like, describe the price action. But I'm more of a volume profile trader. It's more based, in my opinion, right? Because like you're actually using the volume analysis. That along with order flow and then money flow is just, it's just almost unbeatable for me, right? You know, that's a strategy. It might not click with your brain. You might not like it. It might be too confusing. It might be too simple. I don't know. I never try to talk people out of using different strategies to use mine. You can, at the end of the day, make money trading all different types of strategies, right? At the end of the day, like if you're there's so many profitable strategies out there, and a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but like if you are consistently losing money trading, more likely than people probably think, it's not the strategy, right? It's probably your trade management, your risk management, your emotional, psychological control. There's plenty of profitable strategies out there. You can profitably trade just patterns. I don't personally like to do that, but you totally can. If you're using good risk management, you know how to trade them correctly, you can totally make money doing that. Love from India. Shout out to Brand Garage. Shout out to you, bro. Love right back, bro. Trend lines and pattern traders versus moving average traders, versus the indicator traders and the fib traders. Shout out to Nicholas. Like a big war. I think it's so funny though. It's like if I didn't know about Fibonacci retracements and then someone said I trade Fibonacci and like they showed me it, and I like, instead of just being like, no, you have to trade my way, I'd be like, Actually, that does look kind of useful. Like maybe I can incorporate that into my trading. All right. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend like trying to smash too many things together because it could get super confusing super fast. And I think sometimes too much information is bad information. But then the volume profile traders. Yeah, it is really funny. I like volume profiles are, I mean, I feel like they're getting a lot more respect nowadays. But like, I mean, when I was first talking about volume profiles, I'm not saying I started volume profiles. They were invented a long time ago. I did not invent this strategy. Even the way I trade them, I did not invent. I'll never try to claim that. But I don't know. It's like such a slept-on strategy. It's just such a simple thing. It's based off of the idea of a failed auction, right? And the reason it works is because, I mean, not only is price attracted to volume, right? And this is why I prefer this over something like an arbitrary shape on the chart, right? The chart doesn't know that it's in a head and shoulders, right? But when you're looking at volume, like you're actually looking at where the volume was transacted, right? And price likes to seek volume, and price likes to reject areas of low volume, right? So price will stick to these areas, right? And maybe even create little internal value areas. But price will stick to high volume nodes, and it will oftentimes dump right through or pump right through low volume nodes, right? And then you'll stick to this high volume node. So this is just the way price moves, right? Price ranges about 80% of the time. So this is why I like volume, right? And like all the levels that you look at, the value area high, the POC, these are not just magic lines on the chart. They're based off volume, right? So like there's no real wrong way to pull a volume profile. I have specific ways I like to pull them. But there's no real wrong way. You can pull a volume profile anywhere. It's just going to measure the volume and tell you where 70% of the price action was traded, and it's going to show you where the most price action was traded, which is the POC. Value area high, value area low, POC. And the market range is about 80% of the time, right? So when you have ranges, right, you have like the market has two conditions, right? You have balance, and then you have impulses or imbalance, right? This is imbalance. This is balance. Right? When price is in balance, sellers will look at this as expensive and they will sell it back down into the fair value. If this is, you think of this inside the value area as fair value, right? Above it is overbought. Below it is oversold. Above it is expensive. Below it is cheap, right? So when you have fair value and you get expensive, that is where you want to look for the shorts. And if you look for the short, get back inside the value area, price is going to seek out the fair value, right? Where is the fairest value? It's the POC, the middle of, oftentimes the middle of the range. Not always, but oftentimes. So that's why this strategy works so well, right? Because it's fair value. Oh my God, it's expensive. Sell it. It's going to go back into at least the fair value, right? And then once you lose the fair value, it'll rotate back down to the cheaper end of the value. Then it's looked at as cheap. It tries to trade at cheaper prices. It fails. Once it gets accepted back into the range, there's your failed auction, back up to the high, or at least the POC, right? And then, overall, I expect a rotation back to the high. Rinse and repeat. And then you can use your money flow to identify when you're going to get those bigger drops out, because you're not going to range around, price ranges 80% of the time, but it doesn't range 100% of the time. Eventually, it'll break out of here. This is where you use the money flow, right? When you have your money flow, in the green, right? And then it crosses into the red. And again, time, you don't have to pay attention to time frames and stuff, but just from a general stance here, money flow crosses into the red. That's where you would expect that trend to continue, right? That's where you would look for the loss of the volume profile, and then that is in balance. And the beautiful thing about this is if you're range trading this, shorting the highs, long in the lows, shorting the highs, long in the lows, shorting the highs, eventually, once you get down to this value area low, instead of looking for a long, if you see that money flow crossover, you might say to yourself, I'm going to sit out on the long, and I'm going to hold my short, and then that little day trade, right, that little day trade or scalp, could very easily turn into a bigger swing trade, right? So you can catch these little day plays, short, long, short, right? And then when you see that money flow coming out, you might be able to identify the continuation of that trend, and then you can hold it for a bigger winning trade. And when price goes into imbalance, what is it going to seek out? Well, more often than not, it does two things, right? It's either going to create new balance, or it's going to more than likely seek out previous balance, right? So like I said, price ranges about 80% of the time, right? It's range, impulse, range, or imbalance, balance, imbalance, right? Range, impulse, range, impulse. And when you impulse, where does price like to seek out? It likes to seek out the fair value. So when you impulse down, you could say to yourself, where am I going to target? If we trend out of this volume profile, we look left, we find that previous value area, and we say, hey, here's that previous area of fair value. Price is probably going to gravitate here. And guess what? If we get accepted into this range, price is probably going to go back down to that POC. And if you lose the POC, it's probably going to go back down to the low. And then you can reassess here if you should be looking for longs. And maybe you impulse again. And if it impulses again, right, if you get a bounce here, you start breaking out of the range and you get imbalance, guess what? Price is probably going to seek out this fair value and start banging around in here a little bit. Now, how does this look on the volume profile? If you had a visible range volume profile, guess what it's going to look like? It's going to look like this. High volume, very, very low volume, very high volume, right? Like I said, price likes to stick to the high volume nodes. And you can literally see this on the chart. Low-key sauce there, guys. That's it. That's all I'm giving. But just to pull this over live price action so you guys can kind of see it, just to give like an overall general thought or overall kind of general idea of what that looks like, look at this low volume area. Look what price does. Very fast drop down. No volume. Look at this high volume node. What is price doing? It clings there, right? High volume node. Price is clinging. Price is clinging. Price is clinging. Oh my God, big drop. Big volume gap. And in this case, we're not looking at previous balance. This is kind of what was, this is what created that gap. But you could very easily find previous volume gaps. Come on, volume. Come on, volume. Right? When you see this, right, you see this volume gap here. Look at this. Fast move up. Price ranges. It creates all this volume. But from here to here is very low volume. Very fast move up. Not a lot of volume. What happens when you break back in here? Quick drop down. Quick drop down. Right? And then you kind of cling on to these little high volume nodes. Hopefully that makes sense. There'll be plenty more of this. Don't worry. Let's see. Greetings from Switzerland. Shout out to Mr. New Creation. Welcome in. Good to see you, bro. What is my favorite time frame to trade? I don't really have a favorite time frame to trade. Wherever the setup is. I'm not like a momentum trader, so I don't normally, right? I'm not saying you can't do this. I'm not saying you shouldn't do this. But I am not, I personally don't get on the chart and go, I'm going to sit on the 5 minute and like, all right, I think price is going up long. I think price is going down long, short, right? I like to sit on my hands and wait for the setups, right? I like to, I always say trading is a game of trapping, right? It's not a game of hunting. So, when I took the short up here, literally from about 97.5 at the top, I was not like on the 5 minute chart, like watching this and be like, oh, now we're going down, let me short. What I was doing was literally sitting here very patiently, and it wasn't the only trade I'd taken because we had waited for this a long time. There was plenty of other trades that we had taken on lower time frames. We had this major level of resistance up here forever that we were waiting for. So at this point, right, like when price comes up here, I have the confirmations I'm looking for. I know this is a high probability reaction area. That's where I take the short. And just to kind of show that, right, like that's how I get these like sniper entries because I'm not hunting price, right? I'm trapping it. I have been waiting for that trap for a long time. I push into it. I have the confirmations. I take that trade. So I don't really like sit there and go, I like to get on the 5 minute and trade the 5 minute. I don't normally trade like that. If I go to the 5 minute and I see a setup, maybe I'll take the trade, right? If I see it, so I don't really have a favorite time frame. If I see the setup on a 1 hour, like yesterday, for example, the setup that Rudy was taking, I don't know what time frame he was looking at, but we wound up looking at like the 15 minute to the 5 minute to anticipate that rotation through. But that's not I just don't have a favorite time frame. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Kind of a hard question to answer. Shout out to BTC Bill. Thank you for the super chat. Said class is in session. Let's go, Mafia. Shout out to BTC Bill. Thank you for the super chat, bro. $50, dude. BTC Bill's making it rain in here, baby. Let's go. I appreciate you so much, bro. I really do. Greetings from Greece. Yo, we got the whole world in here. Crypto Pisces said like and subscribe if you appreciate the sauce, guys. Smash that dang like button, baby. The bear flag on the 1 week. Yes, I do know there is a bear flag on the one. Oh. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. She going to hold it? She going to hold it? She's finally going to hit that POC? Can she do it? Can she do it? But yeah, my high time frame context all remains the same. So on the higher time frames, yes, forming, what weekly, daily, however you want to look at it. Yeah, I would classify that as a bear flag. Again, I'm not a pattern trader, but obviously definitely got, somewhat of a bear flag kind of forming here. Question is, are we going to get another rotation back up, take out the high, hit into some of our major key levels up here, and then come down and break it down? Or are we just going to kind of lose it from here? If we lose it from here, I'm literally short from the tippy top. But, one thing, one of the reasons that we are potentially looking, or I'm at least even open to a new high coming in, not locally, but like here at $98,000, is because of this daily money flow just still in the green. It's still cooking in the green. So this does give us the anticipation of potentially being able to hold the higher lows and continue the uptrend, right? Again, money, just like on the 3-minute, it's the same thing on the daily. When you have that money flow in the green, all these pullbacks have to be looked at as potential higher lows and higher highs. So I was saying yesterday, it's kind of hard for me to say if this is definitely going to end up giving us the higher high or not. I'm just kind of along for the ride here. I guess I would prefer a breakdown just because I'm short. But, this has already played out massively. We've already locked in a bunch of profit on that. But, the kind of scenario here is like, this thing's either going to wind up breaking down with a lower high, which is not out of the cards. Like, I can make an argument for both cases. 4-hour money flow comes into the red. At the end of the day, technically, you could rotate all the way back up to $95-ish thousand, right? Between about like 95, just make sure I got those. Make sure I got the right pull here. All right, so between about 94 and about 95.5, like this is the last level to put in a lower high. If you're going to get that full volume, full Fibonacci retracement, we could on the 4-hour, you could potentially see something like that. And if that happens with this money flow coming out, maybe the bear flag breaks down from here. But that daily is also saying potential higher low, which would make you expect a higher high, right? So like two things can be true at the same time. Sometimes not everything is confluent. Sometimes it is. It's really easy, really clean call to make. But right now it just isn't. You can't always, you can't. Sometimes we could call it like tick by tick, but sometimes you just have two things at play, and you just have to be. That's why I take profit on the short as we hit these major targets, right? Because we know this is support. We know a higher low could come in here. If it does, I want to stop out and profit on that short. I still want to make money. I don't want to ride this all the way down and then lose money, right? That's pointless. Why would I do that? So you want to lock in a bunch of money here, and then if we stop out, we'll stop out and profit, and then we could see the new high come in. But if it breaks down, well, great. This could turn into a massive swing trade. So kind of hard to say, right? Because like this bear flag is definitely here, right? Like I would definitely classify this as a bear flag. So the question is it going to break down from here, or is it going to break down after another rotation up, or is it not going to play out and we're going to all-time highs? I think the last one is the least likely, but hard to say, right? Definitely a bear flag though. Looking very, 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 very similar. You can't make it up, guys. If you go back to the stream, like any of the streams over the past, like before we ever got down here, we talked about how similar it looked to 2021 and kind of what I would expect when we got down here. And the thought process was we literally pulled the fractal. Not that it has to play out exactly like this, but we just used it as kind of an idea, right? Like this fractal looks very similar to the price action right here, right? Just resize it a little bit to match it up. Right. And like when we were down around like $94,000, we were talking about like, hey, if we start getting support and we start to bing bong around, like it's going to look even more similar to 2021, not even from just from a price action perspective, but also from a weekly money flow perspective, which of course is still looking much more bearish. Right. Like this is my high time frame bias, whether we put in a new high and then come down. Regardless of if we put in a new high or not, whether we break down from here or put in the new high first. My anticipation here with this money flow coming out has to be lower highs and lower lows, even if you put in a new high. Not a new all-time high, but like a new high from here. Just looks very similar. And again, it's not just that it looks similar. It's the fact that it's the same situation. Massive bearish divergences on the higher time frames. Money flow coming out, indicating the trend will continue down. Massive bearish divergences. Money flow coming out, indicating that price will continue down. And then you start to flag out. You start to flag out. I mean, it's just so similar. So very interesting. If that winds up playing out, guys, we could literally go back to like when we were at 108K, and we literally drew it out. Not that I'm just because I drew it out, I'm not saying it's going to happen because of that, but it would be quite wild if that doesn't end up happening. Shout out to Yoda said SMA versus EMA versus WMA versus blah, blah, blah. Which one would you use? Shout out to Yoda. I'm not a big moving average guy, to be honest. Not that you shouldn't use moving averages, not that they don't work. I just don't personally use them, not because they don't work, just because it's not part of my analysis. I only like to look at certain things because, again, if you have 40 moving averages and anchored VWAPs and Fibonacci retracements and horizontal levels and MPOCs and value area levels, your chart just looks like a mess, right? But like the only moving averages that I really pay attention to are like the super high time frame moving averages, like the 50-week. This is a simple moving average. But like between a simple moving average and an EMA, like the only difference is like a simple moving average or an exponential moving average just reacts to price a lot faster. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I would say an EMA is probably better for like scalping, and then an SMA is probably better for something like a higher time frame. But like they're all useful, so really hard. But if you ask me which ones I actually use, I mean, I don't really look at them that often, but when I do, I look at SMAs on the higher time frames. So there we go. We're gonna pop this PLC or what, guys? We're gonna pop that PLC. Come on, give it the pop, baby. Give it the pop. Give us that first target hit. Come on. We hit the targets yesterday. Give us a streak. Give us a streak. Like button hit incoming. Shout out to Valerie. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. It's bearish in my opinion. Holding on for dear life. Yeah, shout out to Nicholas. Got my 60K order ready. This thing does not want to hit the POC. Big Huggy said, love from Denver. These new times that definitely mess up my daily afternoon nap. But who needs sleep anyway? Not me. I'll tell you that much. When I was sick, I slept for like 72 hours straight. And it kind of fixed my sleep schedule a little bit. And then I felt better yesterday, and I was just back to not sleeping. Terrible. Nicholas said, yeah, bad time to chase metals at all-time highs, like buying Bitcoin at 126K. Yeah, I guess. It just depends on how high they go. The name of the money flow indicator is Market Cipher. It is a paid indicator, just FYI. If you want to save some money, you can use our link in the description down below. Oh, my God. Shout out to Perry. Said, I'm sick, too. Yeah, apparently there's some crazy flu going around. I took a test. It was like a COVID test, a flu test. We took like every flu, B, A positive, all this stuff. It all came back negative. So I don't know what I had. I had a 105-degree fever, though, so I had something. Pop that POC for a real trader, baby. Shout out to Ando. Pop that POC. Come on. Don't make me pull up that 1 second time frame. We get the 5-minute money flow crossing into the green. We got the 80-minute green dot. Ooh, confirmed now. Do we have that 2-hour green dot? There it is. With the 7-minute money flow. Trying to stay in the green here. Give us the POC pop. Come on. Hit that POC, baby. Come on. Do it for Rudy. I don't even think Rudy's in a trade, but do it for Rudy, man. Do it for Rudy. Rudy's our good luck charm. Don't take those tests, dude. Oh, God. Shout out to Darren. Why not? What did they do? Did I, like, probe myself with, like, AI smart dust or something? Come on. Give me the POC pop. Let's go. Do it. Do it. We need some music to pump it up. All right. All right. We'll pop some music. I have no idea what the volume is on this music. This is kind of lame, though, I think. I'll try the next one. Need some intense music. Oh, this is intense. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. Come on. Hit that POC. We got the alert set here. We got the alert set. All Rudies are good luck charms, even if they spell their names weird. Shout out to Rudy. That's right, bro. That's right. Shout out to Tactical Pew Pew. Thank you for the super. They tried to cut me off there, guys. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, shouldn't we hit the 200 moving average at 100K? All bear W hit. I don't know exactly what you mean by bear W. And I don't know what 200 moving average. The 200 day? 200 day moving average, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, 200 days at 105. Shout out to Pew Pew. Let me know what exact moving average you're talking about. Neon Visual said when Rudy's oh do it. Are you kidding me? Yo, she's teasing us. Edging the POC. Talk about edging the POC. POC pop, come on. XMR, yeah, I'll check XMR in a second. We need Bitcoin to hit this dang POC. It's gonna go down, then pick BTC. Gonna go down and then pick BTC. Gonna go up and meet it at 100 and. Oh my God! There goes the POC. Ooh, we got a little bear div there on the 3-minute as well. There she goes. Front ran the POC. Doesn't want to hit it. Come on. Ah? Do some investigation here. Let's get technical here. Let's get nerdy here for a second. Interesting. Huh. So hit the POC. Where did I have that? Let me undo that. Where did I have that pulled from originally? Because I accidentally, apparently, deleted. Am I tripping right now? Huh. We did hit the POC? Did I just not have the line low enough? Or was my POC higher? Sorry, guys. Bear with me here. Yeah. Did I just have the line too low? That wasn't fun. It didn't trigger our alert. That was lame. Okay. Well, anyway, Let's see if we can make it up to the value area high. Where was that original POC? Was the line just up here for some reason? Come on, just trigger the alert anyway. Make your boy Candles happy. Yeah, the alert was up here. Did I just have the line up there? I don't know. Interesting. I want to talk to the manager. It's not as fun when the alert doesn't go off. Well, all right. Do I think that volatility is dying in crypto? Shout out to Bailey. There's definitely the volatility is dead in crypto right now. I mean, if you want to consider the volatility dead, I mean, it's still like much more volatile than many other assets. But yeah, like the volatility has been super dead lately. But I wouldn't say that's a permanent thing by any means. But yeah, of course. I mean, like you just look at this. Like, I mean, look at it on a daily chart, right? Massive volatility. And then like you just have this, right? And this happens, right? Like I said, price range is about 80% of the time. So, no, I don't think the volatility is dead. Well, it is dead right now. But I don't think it's like dead forever by any means. It's just you're in kind of a lull in volume. There's just no interest. Nobody's here right now. The music was good. Shout out to Nightly. Yeah, I'll keep the music going after. I feel like we need to. I don't know. Can we call a manager on this this whole POC thing? Because this is I don't understand. Why did I set my alert up there? There's no way I just like drew my line too high up. Like that's so unlikely. But the POC is tapped. And like I figured maybe my profile was pulled differently and had the POC higher, but like literally regardless of where I pull it, it's literally right there. So I don't know. I guess I have to accept I was a sloppy line drawer there. That's kind of trash. I should have had my alert lower. But there you go. Either way, POC tapped. Beep, beep, beep. Let's go. Slow as a snail on this move up. Yeah, or at least here. I mean, I do personally. Again, like I'm not saying I necessarily this has to happen first, but I would prefer, man, just dump it right back down to that value area low. I would like that. This is Deja Vu. Shout out to Jenny. Yeah, this is almost like yesterday. Yeah, let me clean up these levels here real quick, guys. POC 89,838. 89,838. Value area high. Let's clean it up a bit. Let's clean it up. 90,233. All right, there we go. Can she hold, or is she going to lose it? But yeah, I mean, look at this 45-minute money flow. I don't hate that either. 12-hour green dot. That's another market cipher B116 strategy. So that could also assist you on that push to the upside. And let me drag this into the folder. So actually, let me drag it into this one. All right. And then, like, overall, right, like, that's, like, super micro lower time frame. But if we can continue this trend, get that 7-minute money flow, won't come back into the green. What's that 8-hour doing? Yeah, kind of choppy, to be honest, guys. There's not like a lot of things just pointing all in one direction. You kind of have, I can make an argument for both cases here. You might ask yourself, what do you do in that case? Well, unless you're going to catch a low time frame scalp, I'm just holding my trade from, I'm just holding my short. Because if the bearish case plays out, I'll continue to profit. And then if I find a nice little long setup, I'll take it. 2-hour green dot still printing. So for this, we want to see the 7-minute money flow cross into the green for a bigger continuation. But that 45-minute money flow with the 12-hour green dot and your 1-hour money flow coming up with your 16-hour green dot could be the thing to look at for an overall continuation up, which, of course, would give you a bigger move to the upside. So if we get that 45-minute money flow crossover, that could indicate the 45-minute trend could continue up, right? Which is super wonky. But you would hope, right, that you could kind of hold this trend. Can we do it? Maybe able to. Right, because to kind of show the difference between the time frames, time frame analysis or multi-time frame analysis is important, right? When we see that 3-minute money flow crossover, that indicates the 3-minute trend is going to continue up, right? That doesn't mean anything for the weekly trend, right? A weekly trend is obviously very bearish from a trend perspective and a money flow perspective for the continuation down. So we'll see. Maybe get a 45, and this is just super wonked out, man. Because like, let's see. Maybe pull down here for a higher low. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't really know. This is like not really great price. I mean, just look at the look at the price action. Well, we'll see. Maybe come down, play around with this POC a little bit more. We'll keep watching it. We'll keep watching it. Why didn't I like these local lows for a long? I did like these local lows for a long. I was just, like I said, trying to explain to, I think his name was Reese. I had fiber installed today, so I was like literally talking to the guy this morning. So I just missed it straight up, right? But to be honest, right, like there's not a lot of beautiful confirmation here. Now, you don't always need a bullish divergence or anything to enter a trade. I mean, you hold above the low, tap into the golden pocket, you get a reaction. You can take a trade off that, right? You don't need 3 different entry triggers. You really do, you want to see some kind of an entry trigger here. It would just be like a reclaim of the value area low. But like, typically for this, it's like I would have much preferred if you came down and put in a lower low here and got a bullish divergence, which you didn't get. But again, you don't need, that's not needed, right? You still get the failed auction here. You get dip below the value area low. It's undervalued. You're back into your value. Go to the POZ. See if you can work your way up to the value area high. So we'll see if we can hold on top of this point of control. Yo, shout out to Tony D said, yo, are you enjoying it or what? Yeah, shout out to Tony D, guys. No more internet outages and way faster speeds. Yeah, I've just been like, I just choke out my computer. Internet-wise, I got VPNs running. I'm just like, but yeah, no, we got crazy speed now. We got 1250 up, 1250 down. It's clean. It's clean. It's actually kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Things load so fast. And Tony D's always like smacking me. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Just like get fiber. I'm like, it's like annoying though. But it wasn't. Reese was in and out in like 20 minutes. I was looking for that too, Frankie. Shout out to Bailey. Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. To be honest, I probably would have taken a long. I mean, I don't want to say if, man, I could have, I would have, right? Doesn't matter. I missed the trade. Doesn't matter. But I probably would have taken a trade down here anyway, just on that reclaim. But wasn't there. Simply wasn't there. I was just like, no, Reese, I'll tip you, bro. I'll tip you. It's just, it's part of a show. It's just like, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. It's not, he's like, get that thing away from me. He's like, backing into the corner of the room, trying to like grab some hundreds off the floor with his foot and drag him out with him. Oh, man. It is funny though. I didn't say anything about the money. He just like came in here and he just sees the stack of money on the desk and all over the floor. And I just have this stack of money sitting on the desk. And he like looks down and I just see his eyes like get a little wide, like very subtly. He just like quick little like eye jerk. And I was like, I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let this guy leave and just question his reality. Reese was in and out longer than the cable super. Shout out to Jenny. Especially as a streamer. Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have more problems with the internet streaming. We sometimes have problems, but Tony D thought I was streaming on a VPN. I don't stream on a VPN because it's browser specific, I guess. I don't know how any of it works. He said, do you have an extension? And I thought he was talking about like a dongle. He's like, no, the Chrome extension. I was like, oh, yeah, I use the extension. Oh, man. I need like a full-time IT person just to babysit me. Currently have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 27 Chrome tabs open. So computer just choking out too. We're in the wrong business. I'm telling you, this dude's desk was covered in hundreds. He's like, dude, I gotta get on you. And he should have asked me. I'd have been like, hey, bro, I'll teach you how to make money for free every day. Just tune in. It's for free. Just tune into my live stream. I think I drank this when I was sick. I'm not gonna drink out of this. Clean water bottles only. You should have asked him for a puncture repair kit. I said, sir, can you help me? Can you help me inflate Mrs. Candles? All right, yeah, shout out to JD. I'll take a look at, look at that. Bouncing off the POC. And look at this. Look at this, guys. Bouncing off the POC. Readjust the POC. That line under two. But there you go. Bouncing off the POC here. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Come on. Continuing the uptrend. Let's go. You could do it. You could do it, Bitcoin. But let's take a quick look at XLMR. Shout out to Jay Dance. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He's been asking. I think it's maybe multiple people asking for XMR. Let's take a look at it for him. He says, I feel okay with my 10x long on XMR, but I would love your opinion. Down 50% right now. Always love your TA. Shout out to Jay Dance. I appreciate you, brother. Let's take a look at it for you. 10x long on XMR. I don't know exactly where your entry is. You don't have to super chat it, but if you want to drop it in the chat there so I could just get an idea. But let's take a look here. Ooh. So one thing I will say is always, well, let's see where your entry is. But let's take a look here. I think we had an XMR chart. There it is. Oh, dang. When did this happen? This is this was August. That 786 held up. All right, let's see. All right, so you're fighting the all-time. Let's see. Let's check the 4-hour real quick. 4-hour green dot confirmed. 15-minute money flow crossover into the green. All right, so similar to Bitcoin, right? Like you got that 12-hour green dot potentially coming in. You got that 16-hour green dot potentially coming in. VWAP on the daily looking to try to curve back to the upside. 30-minute money flow trying to cross over. No green dot on the 8-hour. All right, so entry 554. All right, let's see here. Ooh. All right, so you're probably entering on the way down, I assume. Of course, not financial advice. I won't tell you what to do with your trade. Of course, I cannot do that. And even if I did tell you what to do, you shouldn't listen to some random guy. But I will give you the TA here. So you're holding on to the 786. I would say this is probably the key level to hold. If you lose 495, 494 decisively, I'd probably be expecting a bigger move to the downside, if I'm being totally honest. So this would, I mean, Golden Pocket didn't hold up at all. So I would say this 786 is probably super, super key for you to hold. And the only other thing is, like, I don't really see, like, there's no day. Yeah. Okay, never mind. You do have a daily here. So let me just mark this out. It's already tapped, but you have the daily here. Yeah, 4-hour money flow in the red. I mean, I don't know your plan for the trade. I don't know if this is looked at as a swing trade or if you're looking at it as a scalp, a day trade. This 4-hour money flow, I mean, this is one of the things on Bitcoin, too, that makes me a little bit concerned about lower highs and lower lows. I wouldn't be that concerned just because of the I'm in the short. But, I mean, if I was in a long here, I'd be a little bit concerned. Again, this should not affect your trade, right? This is just my thoughts. And I could be wrong, right? But, yeah, 45-minute money. So I'll say this is your hope, right? If you can get this 45-minute 12-hour green dot with the 45-minute money flow crossover, you're hoping for that 45-minute money flow crossover. If you can get that, you might be able to get this trend to continue. I will say that, right? Yeah, you got bull divs at the low here, money flow coming up. So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. Kind of a wonked chart, if I'm being totally frank. But, yeah, so, I mean, you're rejecting a Golden Pocket 786 right now. So, the only reason I don't hate this, right, the only reason I'm not saying, oh, my gosh, this is super scary is because money flow is coming up, right? Otherwise, I mean, if this was, like, upside down, I'd be really worried about that being a high, a low, a lower high for another lower low. But because you have money flow coming up, and it doesn't look like that, you could potentially look for higher lows here. So I would say, once again, not financial advice. Come on. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to lose this 786/daily about $500. I mean, you start to lose this. Actually, I'll give you the bigger level, because that'd be like the full invalidation. So I'd say like 495. You lose 495 decisively, and this money flow is not cooking into the green. I'd say that's probably the level you want to hold above, right? You got the low, the high, the higher low. Hopefully, you can continue on to put in a higher high. You get the money flow coming up. That's on your side on the 45-minute. You have the 12-hour green dot potentially looking to print, which could be on your side as well. But for me, I would say the invalidation there is if you wind up coming down here and you start like playing around with that 786 again, for me personally, that would be I'd probably be a no-go for me. I'd want to be out at that point personally. Doesn't mean you have to get out at that point, but that's just me, right? So we'll see what happens. We could try to keep an eye on this. Set an alert here. And so I hate this, right? Like sometimes these alerts will go off like later at night, and then I think back, and I'm like, I'll think, oh man, I'm like, oh man, Jay Dance's 786 is getting lost, man. I don't know if he's still holding it, but I hope not, or whatever. But yeah, that's what I would look at there. Yeah, I mean, maybe just the daily as well, right? If you want to be a little bit safer. 503 at the daily. You just really kind of want to hold the uptrend here. So, and then, 786 here, 536, that'd be nice. Break above that, and then you're looking for the new high. So we'll see. Lowest I would really want to go there is, for me, it's probably 503, but at technical invalidation there is lose 494 at the 786. I'd be looking to take out this low. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on XMR. Not financial advice. Shout out to Jay Dance. Hopefully that helps you out and gives you some thoughts. Shout out to Trommer. Said, dude, get you some RAM for your computer. It'll help you with all those tabs. I think I have a decent amount of RAM. Tony D built my computer, so he'll have a better idea of that. But the apparently RAM is in a bull run too right now. Tony D was sending me like $200 RAM is now like $800. I have some RAM in my closet right now. Maybe I should sell it. Anybody looking for some RAM? Yo, shout out to Tactical Pew Pew said, sorry, meant the 50-week moving average. We always hit that in the bear market. Shout out to Tactical Pew Pew. Yeah. So, excuse me. That is going to be the next major target to the upside, right? So if we do end up holding this as the low and we come up and that daily money flow continues up and we're able to take out this high, 50-week moving averages is sitting right up there. It's like one of the major next targets that I'm looking at, sitting at about 101, 164. That is going to be the next target. It is not guaranteed, though. It wouldn't be surprising because it's happened in the past. It's happened in every other bear market 100%. But, I wouldn't say it's guaranteed. It is possible that, you don't get up there, 4-hour money flow holds you back down, you just break down. Like I said, I could see both. I could make an argument for both sides of the coin here. Of course, I'm positioned in the short. But, on this daily, right, I mean, you're still holding the higher lows. So, you could still technically put in a new high here. I'm a little suspicious of it, but I can't rule it out with this money flow and this VWAP coming up. But I would just say if it doesn't play out, right, you put in the lower high, put in the lower low, and you just get the breakdown from here and you don't see that 50-week, that wouldn't really be super surprising to me either. So, again, you might say, well, then what do you do? Right, well, I'm just holding my short, and if I can find a nice long entry at some point, I will take that as well. Just waiting for the setups to come to me. But yeah, you do have the 50-week up there. And again, that is like the next major target, right? Because right now we're short basically from the golden pocket retracement, right? Literally from the tippy top there. Boom. We come back up. If we're going to put in if we're going to break above this high, the next target would be that 786, which is confluent with that 50-week moving average. So 100%, like the next major targets, I would say between 100 and 102K, which is right in there. So shout out to Tactical Pew Pew. Hopefully that helps you out. Shout out to Andrew. Thank you for the super chat. Says, platinum, please. What is the ticker for platinum? There it is. All right. Let's see. All right. So, obviously, metal's going insane, obviously. Money flow all cooking to the upside on the higher time frames. Check the daily here. Yeah, all the money flow is coming up. This is hard. I'm never going to chase something like this, right? Personally. I'm not saying it can't continue up, right? I wouldn't chase it here. Doesn't mean, and the reason for that is because pullbacks are likely, right? But, it doesn't mean it can't continue up. I'm just I'm not going to chase this. I'm not going to chase gold. At that point, it's I've missed the move. So I don't really have an opinion on this. It's I wouldn't be oh, this is a nice buy. If anything, I would have to be looking for, if anything, I would have to be looking for shorts. But, yeah, whoops. Yeah, you're back above the highs there. Let me pull some fib extension targets for you. Let's pull them on the weekly. Dang, where do I pull these from? Let's pull them right here. All right, so, this is your next target. It's a zone, 2708. We're already almost there. 2708 for the next target. Above that, you have 3,016, and above that, you have 3,370. So if you're going to kind of stall out or kind of chill or pull back, I would definitely be looking in this zone. Other than that, like market cipher B, I mean, everything's just flying to the upside. Could look for some bearish divergences potentially into some of this stuff for a pullback. But this would be definitely the next target, in my opinion, to the upside. Let me turn off the golden pocket and the 786. So we'll see if that happens. Wouldn't be surprised. Let's check the monthly red dot looking to print. So yeah, might cool off if we could tap into these zones. And if I were looking for something there, all right, you got the 2-day green dot printed. Maybe you could print some 2-day bear divs in here. All right, you got your high. Put in another higher high. Nice little lower high there on your momentum waves. Might be able to get a little bit of a pullback there. But yeah, those next targets. 2708, above that 3016, above that 3370. Obviously looking hyper strong here on the higher time frames. So there you go. Shout out to Andrew. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. Shout out to J Dan, says, thank you. I'll keep my stop loss at 478. Then I'm out. Oh, hey, shout out to J Dan's. Not a bad stop loss there, bro. You even have yourself a little room if you wind up losing the key level of that 786 that we looked at. RAM is too expensive right now. Yeah, shout out to Hiram. 64 gigs, I believe. Tony D, should I have more than that? Should we get more? What should we do? Should we just build a new PC? He needs an upgrade. Yeah, we should upgrade it. We really should. It's just I don't know. It just always seems like such a whole thing. Not that I have to build it, but Tony D is the computer guy. But yeah, it's just I don't know why I Tony D's always like, bro, let's just go get just get whatever one you want. Like I'll build it for you. It'll be a Savage computer, and I'm just like I don't know. I just want to wake up and go on my computer. I don't know. It just seems like a hassle. But we definitely should. Bro, I'm loving these daytime streams. Shout out to New Earth Guardian. I appreciate you, bro. We're using our free will in 2026, my friend. Just, getting some price action here. I mean, we were getting price action yesterday. Today, we're getting a little, we're getting edged. We did hit the POC technically, but just starting to play around here a little bit. They're going to be pawning silver and gold medals backstage at the Olympics. Yeah, they're just going to be like, yeah, just take it off my hands right now. I'll take it. It's going to be $50,000 for their medal. It's perfect time to cash in Grandpa's coin collection. Yeah, probably. Let's see. My dad has a GTR. I should have left that video up, bro. That's my favorite video on the internet. Yo, he said you have Tony D build the first quantum. We're going to start using quantum computing in 2026 to trade. We're going to have to make the studio, what is it, like 0 degrees? It has to be in like a 0 degree temperatures. Let's see. Just buy a pre-build, not that hard. Shout out to Dar A. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard pre-builds are just garbage though. Tony D would not let me buy a pre-build. He'd be like, "Nah, bro, you're not buying a pre-build." Not a chance. He won't let me. He wouldn't let me do it. But like, yeah, are there any good pre-builds? Like, if you just get a nice one. What about that money flow though? Money flow. 45-minute money flow. Attempted to come up here. We might have to suffer another red dot first, though, which could give you a little bit of a pullback first before you get that continuation of the trend. But we're going to be here to walk you through it. But, guys, I do have to pee really bad. So I'll be right back. I've been trying to fight through it, but we're going to be live for a while here. So I'm going to play some music for you, and I'll be back in like 0.3 seconds. Hopefully this song isn't horrible. BRB. All right. Getting a little bit of a pullback here. Yeah, 45-minute red dot may be able to bring us down a bit. Not going to lie. But, of course, money flow still attempting to trend up here. Let's pull that, yeah, trying to hold that POC. Maybe push down into the, if we lose this golden pocket, maybe push down into the 89 ones. Let's see. Main idea is the 2022 fractal idea. Yeah, shout out to Dean Mills. Doesn't surprise me. Just because it looks so similar, right? Again, it's like people always say, like, does that make me less interested in that potentially playing out? And again, right, like just the fact, just because this looks similar does not mean that it's going to play out exactly the same. There's nothing about this fractal that makes me think, oh, we're going to get, this to play out exactly like this. But, I mean, it has been very similar, right? And at the end of the day, right, like, I don't really, I think people, yes, if everybody's looking at one thing, like, a lot of times it won't play out. But I also think that is just, like, I think people pay too much attention to that. Like, for me personally, if the charts are pointing in a certain direction, that's what I'm looking at. If all the masses are looking at that and the charts are looking at that as well, or looking like agreeing with that, I'm just going to go with the charts. If the charts are pointing up and everyone thinks it's going down, I go with the charts. If the charts are pointing up and everyone thinks it's going up, I still think it's going up, right? Like, I only go with the charts. If the charts say it's going down and everyone thinks it's going up, I might be like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? Maybe it makes me have a little bit more conviction, like barely. But it really doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It's whatever the charts say, the charts say. If the masses agree with the charts, I still go with the charts. So either way, right, like, whether we wind up getting the breakdown from here, whether we wind up getting a little bit push into the 50-week moving average and get the rejection just like we did in 2022, or we get a bigger push into higher Fibonacci levels and get the bigger breakdown, the charts are looking like we're going to get, if the high is not in here, that it is going to be likely a lower high and a lower low. How that comes in, I will identify on the live price action as it develops, right? Would I be surprised if it looks super similar to 2022? No. But that's kind of how I handle that. Not all PP times are poo-poo times, but all poo-poo times are PP times. Shout out to Nick Dunn. Never heard a more true statement. You guys are crazy. Yo. At least Frankie didn't pee in the jug, like Jason, or out the window. Actually, does Jason pee in a jug? That's not a bad idea. It's like you get like a nice little bucket on the floor, get a hose hooked up to the desk with like a little funnel. You don't have to leave the desk. You guys wouldn't even know. Just like kind of just be chatting. You guys would have no idea. I do have a window right next to me too. Yeah, but it could be dangerous on windy days. I don't know. Shout out to Jason Casper. Let's take a look at the. Someone said, "What are the closest liquidations?" Let's take a look at the liquidation heat maps. That's all, folks. Let's see. Okay. Everybody, calm down. We were just talking about more RAM. I try to move. I'm trying to move one of my 73 tabs, and it freaks out. All right. So yeah, I mean, you got liquidity sitting up here. 89. Let's refresh that. All right. So you got 91K. Right below. Yeah, I mean, you got all the liquidity up here. So, yeah, I would say that's closest. Tis closest. There's not much liquidation below us. Yeah, the liquidations below us are not on the lower time frames. I mean, this is the 48-hour. I don't, I'll look at this in this case, but let's take a look at the 1 week real quick. Ah, come on, you can make me log in. Bear with me here, guys. Come on. There we go. All right, let's see here. Let me pull up the 1 week. Yeah, so, oh, there we go. Yeah, so if we take a look at this. $89 to about 90,271, and then you got another pocket up here between 92. Yeah, you got a bunch of hot spots of liquidity sitting above. So this is actually pretty nice because that's on the 1 week. The one thing, though, is that $86,000 liquidity, pull it up on the 1 month. This actually might have changed. We might have some nice liquidity above now. Come on. I know it's not the internet. Yeah, so like when you look at it from a 1 month perspective, like this is another thing on the front run of that value area low. It's like you also have all that liquidity sitting down here. So I would say, still below about, call it 86.7. You still have it running down to about 85.6, which is very confluent with the higher time frame value area low, right? Like it's barely front ran that liquidity. Maybe it's not down there anymore. It is also possible. And then on the lower time frames, it's all above. So I would say we're definitely closer to the upper liquidity, which, again, is why I'm interested in potentially coming up to the highs here. So we'll see. Let me set an alert here on that 786 real quick. Two-hour green dot still printing. Got about an hour left for that. Let's see. Oh, there is so much liquidity beneath us. Yeah, on the monthly, it is there. And again, like this is something we have been looking at in the premium for quite some time. Right below this, it's right below this wick. Right, and then, like I said, runs down to about, like 85K. So you do have the liquidity sitting down there. Yeah, I mean, when I look at liquidity, guys, I don't always look at it as, we have to go down here first. We have to go down here first. Not necessarily. I like to go to the closer liquidity first. And I would say locally that's above. But if we do get the bigger drop down, like I said, when I try to like spot out some of these setups within the larger profile, right? Again, like you separate it into smaller time frames, right? Like if you trade this, right, you don't necessarily have to be paying super amount of attention to this, right? But if eventually maybe we come up, we sweep the highs, we hit that golden pocket. If we do come back down, well, guess what? You might be able to come down there. You might be able to form some of those medium time frame bullish divergences, and you might be able to sweep out some of that liquidity. And then that'll be an opportunity for a bounce. But until we get down there, right? Like we'll just note that it's there, right? Shout out to Iron said, so down, up, down. Big, these market makers take everything. Yeah, they need it. They gobble it up. Let's defund the shorts. Pump it. Defund the shorts is crazy. Start a movement. Hashtag defund the shorts. Yeah, wow. Shout out to Carlos. Wow. Literally what we just looked at right there. Boop. take out the POC, and then back down, definitely in the cards, right? I'm not going to be – I don't want to, like, try to draw out every single scenario. It's because, like, you know, this could happen. This could happen. This could happen. This could happen, right? Like, it doesn't really help anybody. I always have all these in my mind. And, you know, a lot of times when you look at the money flow, when you look at the TA, when you look at the momentum waves, you could try to figure out which one's the highest probability. But, like, right here, like I said, there's, like, just such an argument for both ends of the coin here. No pun intended. We can take a look at Ethereum. I'm looking to add to my ETH long. From 28.89. If we come down and form some local bull divs, thoughts, TPs already taken. Shout out to Big Huggies. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, man. This is literally, man, I wish I paid more attention to this. This is literally what we talked about on the live stream yesterday. I haven't touched this since the live stream yesterday. The idea of filling that volume profile, right? This was yesterday, literally when Bitcoin filled its volume profile. Shout out to Rudy the GOAT. Deviation, just talking about the volume profiles. Flip the value area low, POC value area high. Deviate above, get back in, can't break out, POC next. Lose the POC, value area low. And we just drew this as an example. Right? I wasn't even saying, like, it's a setup. I was just saying, like, if you look to short the highs, get back into the range, you would expect it to go back down to the low. It just goes to show. It's like accidental setup playing out there. All right, let's see. So you've lost that 786. Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know if you'll get it, but, I mean, yeah, if you could maybe form a little 45-minute bull div there. Maybe get a little bounce ski. Got the 12-hour green dot coming in. Maybe. It's getting a little rejected there, but it's getting close to printing. 16-hour green dot looking to print as well. Daily VWAP attempting to come up. Yeah, 10-hour red dot printing. I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. These higher time frame money flows, yeah, something like then you got the 2-day coming up, 3-day. I mean, for the most part, it's a blood diamond. Come on, don't do it to us. You did it to us. All right. Well, you got a 4-day blood diamond printing, just to give you an idea of how those play out. Typically, not that good. And that was on money flow, interestingly, crossing into the green. Yeah, my high time frame bias, guys, has still not changed. Yeah, 6-day red dot, weekly red dot, potentially looking to print. I mean, this money flow coming out. I mean, you really got to get above this point of control on ETH, like, to get a bigger move up. I mean, and that's been what it's been for ever since we've been down here. You know, stay above the low, push into the POC, reject the POC. We actually talked about this setup on the live stream during FOMC. Bring it back down to the low, deviate the low, back in. Doorway to the POC is open. Tap the POC, reject back down, back to the value area low. I mean, this is still valid, but this range is not going to last forever. So as long as we stay above the value area low, the POC is open, but we really got to break above that POC to see the bigger move up, in my opinion. And, I mean, you got the 3-hour money flow coming out. That's not really what you want to see. I mean, I would say here, you had the 3-hour money flow, you had the 4-hour money flow. That was your best bet there to get above the POC and continue up. It gave you the continuation. It just didn't get you above the POC to push higher. And here, it's like, you know, you're approaching the value area low with money flow coming out. Also could put in a 4-hour bull div here as well. Don't let me talk you out of your long, brother, by the way. You know, you could put in some nice bull divs there. You're definitely seeing that correctly. But I would just be careful with that money flow. I'd probably treat that as a scalp or day trade till proven otherwise, just because money flow does indicate the overall trend. 8-hour money flow coming out aggressively with a red dot looking to print. I don't know. Let's check back on Bitcoin here real quick. She's trying. She's trying. We might be able to see this 786. I would not really want to lose this, though. Let me see here. May just wait for the sweep of the previous day's low and enter a new trade. That's all I needed, Frankie. Thank you. Shout out to Big Huggies. No problemo, brother. No problemo. Am I feeling good about February? Shout out to Bailey. Well, it depends on what you're asking me if I feel good about. Do I feel good about February in general? Yeah. We actually have a winter storm coming, guys. And apparently we could be without power for a week. I swear if that happens, guys, I'm under personal attack. They took out my internet last week. They gave me 105 fever this weekend and the beginning of this week. And now next week, we might have no power. If that is the case, I will fly back to New York to do live streams. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll, fly to Florida. Actually, I probably won't be able to because we won't have power. So I don't know. If I go dark, guys, I might be, like in the Arctic tundra. I don't know. You might find me, hiding in an ice cave somewhere. Do we have any blood diamonds on Solana? Let's see. Let's take a look. I would say, or Market Cipher A would say, you know what? I'm going to check this on Hyken's just because Market Cipher B is designed for Hyken. Yeah, you get the 4-day blood diamond on Solana as well. Now, I would say this, guys. Weekly blood diamonds at this point in the market would be a very, very, very worrisome sign. Not so worrisome here. Sure, it gives you the drop down. But if we get weekly blood diamonds here, I mean, I'm going to say it probably won't happen just because that would be, freaky. But, I mean, if we get that, it's literally going to be 2022 all over again. Not saying it has to be the same amount of drop or anything like that, but it's literally already looking super similar. And if we wind up getting another push up to make a new high and we wind up printing the blood diamond there, I mean, it's going to be the same exact thing. If we start printing blood diamonds in here, guys, super worrisome, in my opinion. I will say Market Cipher B doesn't look like it's set up for it, so it's probably unlikely in general. But, yeah, any weekly blood diamonds on Bitcoin, I would not want to see that. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. He says, according to my research, not financial advice, the storm pattern has shifted slightly north, putting us in a safer position. Hope we don't lose power. Shout out to Tony D. Like he said, not financial advice, guys. Shout out to the meteorologists out there. Kind of similar to trading and technical analysis. When you say it's going to dump, more often than not, it'll go down. Sometimes it won't dump. But, yeah, hopefully that is the case. I am not down to lose power. I'm just I just want to get back to my normal schedule. I'm already fighting off a sickness. Already just got fiber installed. I'm ready. All right, let's get back to business here. They're trying to shut us down. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for the super chat. What is going on, Dave? Welcome. And he says, go buy a Blue Yeti power station. Duh, it's 2026. Blue Yeti? Oh, dude, that thing is sick. How many amp hours is that thing? Dude, that's kind of lit. You could stack them? And they have solar panels? Shout out to Dave. All right, bro. This one has solar panels. And it's on Amazon. Dude, if they have same-day shipping on this, I'm going to buy it. That's fire. Thank you for pointing that out, Dave. I actually might buy that. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Jesse. Said, yo, shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Said, let's buy a trading bunker. Yeah, we should. We should build out the Candle Cave. It'll be the Candle Ice Cave. That would be sick. We'd all just like hunker down and trade together. No live stream, but it'll just be a live trading session with your boy Frankie Candles. Shout out to North Guardian. Said, I have a power station. I agree with Dave. Yeah, that is, what is it? It's like a, hang on, let me pull it up real quick. It's like a power station thing. It's like a giant portable charger. But this one has a solar panel. If they have same day, I'm not logged in here, but if they have same day shipping here, I'm going to buy this. This is sick. 1,800 watts. Yeah, this thing is sick. I'm with that. I want to get a generator too. But anyway, let's continue on here. Yeah, end of the world, no actual money, and the blockchain is dead. But as long as we have the trading bunker, yeah. Shout out to Neon Visual. We'll have to run our computers off of the power bank, and we'll have to trade in bar replay mode. We won't even be able to do that. We'll have to like make pre-recorded videos of bar replay mode, and then we'll have to trade those. And we'll bet against each other. We'll have like a live in-person market. Let's see. 53% off, Frankie. I think that said it was 28% off. Shout out to Zach. I'm so happy you asked this question. He said, you keep saying you locked in profits from your from the short at 97.5 you have, but if you keep dropping lower than 78K, are you not worried that you won't have a large position? No, I would be worried. No, I would not be worried at all. And the reason for that is because you can't really think like that, right? Because nothing is guaranteed, right? And when you have a position and it's up, right, and you get this nice drop, you get a 10% drop to the downside, you got to lock something in, right? If we keep dropping, you'll keep making money, right? But if if you don't do that, right? I'm not saying you can't do that, right? It's a trade-off that you have to make, right? There's pros and cons to both, right? The con to, let's say you even move your stop loss to break even, but you don't take profit. If we get a higher low here and we wind up putting in a higher high, you just sacrificed a bunch of money, right? You could have locked in profits. You're going to stop out at break even. You're going to be like, dang, why didn't I just take profits? I should have just taken some dang profits. Because you would rather make something than nothing, right? So I would rather be in a position where I lock in a bunch of profits, I make my money, and I can sleep at night knowing, hey, I made a bunch of money. If I don't get another trade this week, I made a bunch of money. No big deal. And then if we wind up dropping lower, it's like, okay, cool. I still made more money, right? I'm not going to be thinking like, oh, I could have made more. I could have made more. I could have made more. That's the greed talking, and that's going to end up either getting you wrecked or just, keeping you just like at break even all the time. So you definitely, that's why I don't personally do that. Like, what is the benefit of holding the full position? Like, you'll make more money, right? But like the opposite end of that is you either lose money or make no money. I would rather at least lock in something and then keep the open opportunity, right? If this stops me out in profit, it's like, cool, I still won the trade. And then if it keeps playing, well, beautiful. That's just more profit. So yeah, you can't really let the greed get into your head like that. I promise it. Like you'll just wind up being at break even all the time, or just continuously taking good trades and losing money. And there's nothing more frustrating than taking really good trades and then just continuing to lose money. Trust me, I've done it. So yeah, I talk the premium Discord through this a lot, right? Like people always say, like you have to be willing to take money off. You have to be willing to pay yourself, right? Because if you're not willing to, because at that point, right, with that mindset, you're going to be thinking to yourself, when you're down here, you're going to be thinking, oh, I'll just continue to hold this because if I close it here and it continues down, I'm not going to make, I'm going to make less money if it keeps going down, right? Well, then if it reverses, like you're just never going to pay yourself. You're just never going to make money. And it's a bad practice to get into. Once you start getting into that mindset, it's going to become your default, and it's not going to work out. So that's why I don't worry about it at all. Not only I'm not worried about it, I wouldn't be worried about making money, right? Like there's nothing to worry about. There's only something to be happy about, and that's making money. On the flip side, there's something to worry about if you don't take profits, right? And that's that you're not going to make money or you're going to lose money. So hopefully that makes sense. Great question, though. Shout out to Zach, said, I agree with you. You lose P&L the way I do it. I have about 12 accounts on multiple platforms. I use some swing and some for scalp instead of cashing it out. What do you think? Any downside? Yeah, Zach, I do that. That's like sometimes I'll do that. You could just hold one for a scalp and then treat it like that, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? Depending on your position size. But yeah, you could take a scalp and say, hey, if we come down to these lows, I'm going to close the trade in full, right? Make a little money here. And then on your swing account, you could just move it to break even. That way, if you get stopped out at break even, you still made money on the scalp, and then you can hold that full position size. Yeah, it's just a personal preference, to be honest. That's totally fine. I do that a lot, too. I also have like 40 trading accounts. You're not making money if you're not making money. Shout out to New Earth Guardian. Yeah, for example, I had about 6 shorts open from 97 to 98K. Yeah, dude, totally valid. Totally valid. Kind of gets annoying sometimes to like manage so many accounts, but if you don't mind that, then that's totally valid, bro. What I explained is only a problem if that's the situation you're in, right? But if you're taking profits on scalps here and just closing them in full, maybe you close one scalp here, you close another one here, and then you're holding one from the top as a swing, that's perfectly fine. Just personal preference at that point. Talking strategy, bro. Yeah, it's just a personal strategy. I like this afternoon's live stream versus 545. Shout out to Dave Hagan. I appreciate you, bro. We're here. We're going live earlier. We're going to keep doing it, baby. We're going to keep doing it. Works a lot better for me at this point. I ran the 545 live stream for like dang near 3 years. It hurts. And I'm not saying I'll never go live at 545 again. But is there so much more price action? I kind of want to change up the way I do the live streams. I like walking through the live price action. Like it was so much fun yesterday with Rudy calling that price action live for him, giving the targets, having them all smash live. It's like so much more fun. I really enjoy it. So I hope you guys do too. It makes me happy. So I'm gonna try to keep doing it. Zach says, so instead of putting a lot of money in one platform and getting locked out, it happened. I prefer less money on multiple platforms. Thanks. Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. Totally valid, man. New Earth Guardian said, don't mess with the Mafia and they midday grind. CoinSpeeder said, what is the minimum gain to at least cover fees? That'll depend. Your fees are going to vary depending on your leverage and all that. So it would depend. It's better for us in the EU because you were on at midnight before. Yeah, shout out to Rudy. Yeah, speak of the devil, Rudy's here. Rudy, we might make you famous, bro. I might cut that into a short, bro. But yeah, no, yeah, we had so many people out there. They're like, yeah, I'm up, man. It's 3 a.m. I'm like, dang, bro, I'm holding these people up so late. It's also like the most dead time of the day for the market. And it worked. It worked for what it did, for what it was used for in the past, right? And like the way I used to kind of structure the streams and the content in the past, but things have just changed, right? It just makes more sense to do them earlier in the day. And I have like at least a couple of hours at the end of the day. I still do other stuff after these live streams, but it does it does give me a little bit more of a personal life. How big of an account size did I start with? Man, dude, like my first account was like back in the day. It was like a Bybit account. I don't even know, man. Probably $50, $100. Probably maybe $100. Super small. And we do it live like we did it yesterday for Rudy. Shout out to Zach. That's right, baby. That's right. Yeah, so I was probably $100 was my probably starting account size. And I mean that I'm not still trading that same account. That was like my first account size that I had, and then I blew that up, and I blew the other one up, and the next 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 one up, and I kept gambling and gambling and gambling and moving my stop loss and not setting my stop loss and jacking up the leverage and gambling and using no strategy and no risk management and all trading off emotions, trying to get rich overnight, chasing the thing that was going to make trading easy for me. And it didn't work. And then I finally woke up and I said, I'm going to stop trying to get rich overnight. I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna give myself 2 years to just get better at trading without trying to worry about how much money I'm making. And that was the clicking point for me in trading. Which I know it sounds like an oxymoron. The minute I stopped trying to get rich quick is when things changed for me. So there you go. Still in my ETH short. Give me 2,800, Frankie. Yo, shout out to Indian Martini. Let's go, bro. Let's go. He was in here yesterday as well. Was it the ETH trade we were looking at for you? I think we had an alert set. Yeah, Indian Martini LFG. Oh, it got triggered at 29.73. So there we go. That was not when we were live, but it did get triggered. So there we go. What does he want? 28.80? Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, bro. Oh, you got a 4-hour yellow X there. Yeah, 6-hour red dot. Yeah. Martini, you might get it, brother. 8-hour red dot. Maybe looking to print there. I mean, all this money flow overall looks. I mean, I hate to say this, guys. I mean, we are just back in this garbage range. I was like low-key like struggling with my mental health through this. This is just like so difficult to like make content around or like even talk about. And we're just like now back in this range. I hope this does not last long. And to be honest, short or not, I don't care if we rip up or we rip down. We need to get out of here because this price action is nauseating. It's the same thing on ETH. We're just like back in this chopped out range. But overall, I mean, this money flow, man. I'll tell you what, if we get the breakdown, we're going to look like geniuses because I think people are sick. I mean, even if we get the pop up first, if we eventually get the bigger breakdown, we've been talking about that for ever since 108K on Bitcoin. I would just, that would be very validating for me personally. It sucks. Yeah, shout out to Brillo. I mean, this is some of the worst price action ever. Like, not only is it choppy, it's just like low volume. And then like we get a little bit of volatility, you know, and I guess this is volatility too, but it's just like, now we're back in the range here. It was getting a little exciting when we were starting to kind of crack out of this range, right? When we started like pop out, it's like, oh my God, we're leaving, and then it's just right back in. And that's coming from someone who shorted the tippy top, right? And it's like nice, right? It's like, oh, boom, we smashed that trade. But it's just like we're just back in this garbage, man. Oh. I hope we break up. I never want to break up, man. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, break up to the upside. Just put the crabs inside the range because that's what it is. Yeah, that is what it is. Death by lack of volatility, 100%. And just to give like a timing thing here, right, or just like some perspective on timing, just to compare it to 2022. Let me grab a. I mean, I'll just kind of go to the end of the range. I won't go to the total breakdown. And we'll go to, we'll go from the start of the range, about 86 days, just to get an idea roughly of like how long we can see this stuff play out for. It shouldn't be too much longer. That would be nice. Yeah, let's like kind of wiggle our way out of here. Hopefully something like that at least. Get a little bit more upside. But if not, just kind of a little bit longer. Let me pull a little bit of a let me pull what am I doing here? Just see something here real quick. I don't want to pull this. Actually, let me pull up the cycle chart real quick. Ugh. All right, well, what is this? May? Dude, I'm not waiting until May. I got to pull this more locally. I don't know where I want to pull this from. Just rough it out. Man, I mean, well, what is that? 80. What do we say? 84 days. Where does that bring you? Early February. Another month almost. A little less. I don't know if I'm looking for that, but yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be real hard to kind of predict when that's gonna break, but hopefully not much longer. Let's see. Shout out to Sandra. Thank you for the, empty super chat. Hopefully you didn't mean to write anything in there, Sandra. Don't send another one. Drop it in the free chat. And Jesse, if you could spot it, let me know what she said. We don't want her wasting money on another super chat. But shout out to Sandra. I appreciate that. Thank you. She's just tipping me. Yeah, shout out to Dean. I agree. Right now it's looking like a bear market, but things can change quickly. That's a really good way to say it, bro. February 17th, big drop. That wouldn't be far off what we just had. And I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be to the exact day, but yeah, might not be far off. All right, maybe take out the high, come back down, or 4-hour money flow just continues us into that downtrend. Let me cover that real quick, guys, because if we do end up, right, because like I said, there's a couple of mixed signals. I don't know what that was, but I'm deleting it. Get a decent push off that golden pocket. We're going to hold the higher low? Come on. Give us the value area high. Give us the value area high, and I'll get off the live stream. I don't know what's going to happen right now, but just to give you a little bit more of like a macro view here, or medium time frame view. When we look at the 4-hour, right, like I said, I can make an argument for both cases. 4-hour money flow is trending out, right? Like this makes me feel pretty decent about the short entry up here, which is why I'm still holding a portion of it. So where are the biggest areas to reject, in my opinion, right? Like obviously the full fib, you can get these levels on your chart. I kind of marked them off in the beginning of the stream. The two biggest levels to look at for me, for lower highs and lower lows, going to be right here. Going to be right here. Something like that. Or flip to 786, something like that. These are the two areas. Zone number 1, 90,927 to 92.33. Zone number 2, 93,765 to 95,663. Confluent with the value area levels. If we snap the 786, or honestly we start breaking above that golden pocket, I'd feel pretty good about putting in a new high, which we would target 101 to 102K. And if not, we'll just be looking back for the drop down to the value area low. And in that case, it's like starts to be a lot less likely, in my opinion. If we come down here and don't get a real big bounce, real fast, real aggressive, kind of like a V-shaped bounce, it might be early breakdown time. So, like the two major scenarios like I drew on the higher time frame is like, hey, maybe go take out the high and then send it, or maybe we're just going to break down from here. These are the levels to look for the breakdown without breaking the high. Once we snap that, we're going to be looking up here. Both of those, I would have an end result of new lows to come below 80,500 for the macro bearish scenario to play out. Red dot on the weekly. I think if you're going to get the breakdown and we're going to crack the lows, I think this weekly red dot is the big signal to watch over the weekend if we get it. So it's like my gut, right? I don't like to make decisions based off my gut, but I don't really like the only time frame I'm okay with here is kind of the daily. Everything else is looking pretty nasty, right? 16 hours, sure, it's coming back up, but this could very easily be a lower high. Your 10-hour red dot is money flow crossover into the red is about to happen. Another thing I want to point out about this is I believe, bear with me here while I double check. I believe the 10-hour is the 1/16th of the weekly, right? So, like, this could be a potentially high time frame, pretty bearish setup, right? 10-hour money flow crosses over into the red as the weekly red dot prints. You could be potentially setting up for that. And if that is the case, I think that red dot is probably going to be the thing to send you on down. So, yeah, it is. So, I'd be careful of that high time frame, just like from a simple perspective. Maybe set alerts here. 10-hour money flow crossover into the red. I'll set an alert. Market cipher B. Crossing down. 0 line. Money flow. Let's go weekly. MCB bearish setup. So you see that 10-hour money flow crossover at the same time as that weekly red dot. I think that'll be the thing. I think that'll be the thing to push it down. Did we get that in 20? Did we have that same setup in 2021? That'd be hilarious. Let me mark off the 10-hour first. Yeah, well, it was. I can already see it. All right, there's the 10-hour money flow crossover. There's the high. 10-hour money flow crosses over. There's the start of the big trend down. That indicates lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And that does look like it was in confluence with that red dot. Yikes. So that'd be the thing to look for, in my opinion. We'll see if we get it to play out. Or we'll see if we get it to print. Man, come on, Bitcoin. You gave us volatility yesterday, and you're just going to sit there on me like that. Oh, shout out to Jessie. She said she meant to say she loves the early live streams. Shout out to Sandra. We're here for you. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I really am, because I don't like to change stuff, guys. I don't like to change stuff, and It was a forced change. I was forced to change it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Makes me super happy, and I'm really enjoying it too. I didn't know if I was gonna like it, and I do. So that makes me super happy. Shout out to Zach said, you keep talking about the 50-week moving average. For example, if you put them on your screen, all of them, you'll see that we're bouncing between the 50-week and the 100 weekly moving average. Yeah. Yes, we are. That is literally what we're like holding here, right? Like when you just look at this from a more simple kind of moving average perspective, between the 100-week, between the 50-week. Between the 100-week, below the above the 50-week, below the 50-week, above the 50-week, above the 100-week, below the 50-week, above the 100-week, below the 50-week. So we could also say losing the 100-week moving average is very bearish, which we are playing with right now, essentially. So we'll see what happens. I think the time to look for the break of the high, or like our best shot of getting a break of this high, is the daily green dot, because the money flow is coming up. I think the best chance to get the drop is going to be the weekly red dot. This is the only thing that really looks good in my opinion. 8-hour looks like trash. Finally crossing into the red, right? 10-hour about to cross into the red. 12-hour pushing up, but could just be a lower high. Not convincing. Not really convincing. That daily, though, I mean, this daily's just wonked here. It's kind of weird. It looks like artificially propped up. I'm not saying it is. It's just like, I don't know. Something looks unnatural about that. 2-day doesn't look terrible. 3-day doesn't look good. 4-day doesn't look good. 5-day, back in the green, but could just be a lower high. 6-day, back in the red, right? Oh, it's in the green. Could just be a lower high, looking like it is, with the red dot incoming. And then, of course, if you want to smooth out all that garbage, right? Oh, my God, we're back in the green. Oh, no, we're back in the red. Just look at the weekly, right? Like weekly just smoothly trending out. So we'll see. We'll see. That is wonked. Yeah, shout out to Nicholas. I don't know what's going on there with the daily. Very strange. But it's hard, right? Because I just can't rule it out. I can't say, like, I have to take the indicator at face value. We've talked about how a fake out on the daily could be likely because it is looking very high probability that we're in a bear market. And the daily money flow, once you're in that bear market, especially after that first big drop from the all-time high, you stop spending a lot of time in the green, right? And like in a bull market, you get nice big green waves for continuations of those beautiful trends up. Nice big, beautiful green wave for the beautiful continuation up. But once you get that first drop off the all-time high, those money flow crossovers do kind of get a little bit wonked. But I don't use that. I don't look at that as face value, right? I just have to say this money flow's in the green. And it could, you have to keep an open mind that it could play out. So it's a little bit of a difficult situation there. Now you could use your trader discretion, right? I have many years of experience looking at the chart, so I do use my discretion, right? Like, it just doesn't look, that's why I say in my gut, it just like, it doesn't look good to me. Minus, we have a couple of interesting signals that could push us back up, but I just don't know if I fully trust them. We'll see. I can't say it's impossible. Yeah, it reminds me of the 4-day money flow jank. Yeah. Like, yeah, same thing here, right? Like, you're in the red, you're back in the green. But anytime, right? Like, and this is, I talked about, like, the only time you can really identify a money flow fake out or try to identify a money flow fake out is, like, look at this big money flow wave. Like, bull market, massive money flow wave. But, like, you're making lower highs over time, right? So, like, when you see this finally start to cross over this late in the cycle, and then you fake back out into the green, it's like, it might be time to start spending some time in the red here. So you can kind of expect that to be a lower high. Again, you still have to see that green money flow wave and be like, hey, maybe it's a fake out. Like back here, I was very much in the camp that this was not going to be a massive red wave into a bear market. But again, this was a totally different time, right? This was when we were reclaiming the 50-week, right? This was when we were coming out of a bear market, right? Going into a bull market. This is different. This is like end of cycle situation when we're losing the 50-week. So it's a totally different situation. And like they're two different things. So like I can identify that. It's, I just have a lot of experience looking at this stuff. But I just never, because when I teach this stuff, I never want people to think like, oh, money flow like always fakes out. It's like, no, there's very specific times where you can think it's higher probability. So I just tell people, just take it at face value. You always get my opinion here on the live streams anyway. So we'll see. Shout out to Ant-Man Winkle. Which sub-level to get the live trade setups? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, Premium Discord, got it. Yeah, shout out to Ant-Man. You get my all my actual trade setups with the confirmations that I look for and the trades that I'm looking for in the Premium Discord with daily TA. We do 2 live streams a week when I have internet and I don't have 105-degree fever, obviously. But it is not a signals group. I do not tell you buy here, sell here, set your stop loss there. It is not a signals group. I will not tell you when to buy or sell. If I can give you an idea of what we do in the Discord, just because like I am not here to just like pump up my Discord with as many signups as possible. I really that's not my focus, right? So if you're looking for a signals group, probably not the group for you. But I don't want to leak any current information here because it wouldn't be fair for the people who pay. But I'll just give you like an idea of kind of what we do here. I'll show the most recent short setup from the top here and kind of what we were looking at there to get into that trade and kind of how I spoon feed you my trade setups. Let me find the actual post here. Is that it? That is it. All right. So this trade setup we actually had for quite some time. We waited for this for a very, 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 very long time. So I can't really show that one. There we are. So this is what it looks like. I jump in here. I give you like pretty detailed explainers, but I drop the screenshot. Or no, this is not it. This is a different trade. Same thing though, but I'll basically say before price ever gets to the level, hey, this is the level I'm looking at. If we push into this level, in the actual description, I'll tell you what kind of confluences and confirmations I'm looking at. But hey, if we get up here, these are the confirmations I'm looking at for the next short setup, and it is a preset setup, right? It's not like you're not going to come in there and be like, buy now. Okay, sell now. It's not a signals group. Signals groups, in my opinion, don't work. If they worked, everybody would be in a signals group. No one would have a job. You have to kind of use some critical thinking there a little bit. It was my first thing. I was like, I'll just join a signals group. I never did because I kind of had the realization that it probably wasn't going to work. And it also doesn't teach you anything. But I think this is it. Yeah, so this is the short from the 97.5 level, looking to push in there. Specifically, we were looking for 80-minute bearish divergences. Push in, looking for the higher highs, the lower highs. We had some other things we were looking at as well. Looking to take that position. We wound up getting the entry way up here instead of down here. And then looking to ride that down. At this point, the target was 87,802. And then, obviously, like I said, we were waiting a really, really long time for that. But you can see as price pushed into the level, right? Like here it is again. Yeah, it's like because we were waiting all the way from back here. But eventually, hey, if we could finally put in this higher high, here it is. Don't forget this setup is still valid. Looking for the, I think this is where I said I was looking for the 80-minute bearish divergences. But looking to push up in here. If we get that, I'm looking for these confirmations to take the trade, and then we can ride it down to whatever target. And then as we start getting closer to the level, I update more. And then right here, there's the 80-minute bearish, this is a 1-hour bearish divergence, but the 80-minute bearish divergence was right here. Then we had local bear divs. There it is. Bada boom. Let people know, hey, I'm going to take it. And then bada boom. I don't always say when I enter because I'm not always on the chart when I enter, but or on the computer in Discord when I enter. But there you go, right? And then, of course, That instantly played out very nicely and is currently still playing out very nicely with a massive 10% drop to the downside. They don't all hit 10%. They don't all win, right? We don't win every trade, obviously, but there you go, right? That's just like a little idea of what we do, because I don't want anybody coming in there looking for signals. We don't ever advertise as a signals group. I actually anti-advertise as a signals group. But there you go. And it's super educational. I teach you. We have 2 live streams a week. I go in depth, super educational, telling you guys, we go over the price action. We go over the trades. I talk about the strategies. I go over the order flow and stuff. And, we see a lot of people make a lot of growth in that Discord, and it lights me up. I love it. So, yeah, there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. But anyway, shout out to Zach said, thanks to your premium signals group, I still have 4 shorts open from 97 and 98K. Shout out to Zach. So there you go. There's a little proof in the pudding from Zach. That's what I usually do. I don't really push the Discord too hard, guys. I usually someone asks about it, someone in the Discord talks about it. So I'd rather let the work speak for itself. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here on Bitcoin, guys. But I am getting very close to losing my voice here, and it is already almost 5 o'clock. So we'll see what happens. If you just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning of the live stream. I kind of covered the overall major levels not too long ago. And overall, watching this major volume profile, we get the bigger drop down, value area low sitting down here, 86,755 to 85.8, and then we have the liquidity sitting down there as well. If we get the push to the upside, golden pocket, and then the value area higher, really the next general levels to look at for the rejections. So we'll see that 4-hour money flow. You got a green dot printing on the 4-hour with just no reaction. Yeah, super wonky price action. I'm just holding my short for now, and yeah, I think that's all we got, guys. I think that's all we got. Thank you guys for tuning in to another Frankie Candles live stream. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to We Are All One. Says thank you, Frankie. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Tony D. Shout out to Sanji Sniper. Shout out to Sanji Sniper says, let's see. Bro, you got to get the membership so you can drop the LS emoji, bro. We literally have a let's see emoji. Got to get a membership. Is that it? It is. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for today's live stream. I appreciate you guys all for being here. Shout out to Rusey. Shout out to Rudy. Shout out to Brillo. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to Big Huggy. Shout out to BTC Bill for the memberships. And thank you, everybody, for the super chats. And I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Same-ish time, same place, same-ish time. That's all I got. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the earlier live streams. I'll see you tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the weird YouTube algorithm stuff. Frankie Candles out. Ping pong!
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll,